Is it possible that our greatest inventions, the very tools designed to elevate humanity, are actually sealing our fate? We often hear the warning that artificial intelligence represents the final step in evolution, one that inevitably leads to our extinction. But what if this terrifying narrative is not a certainty, but rather a distortion created by how we choose to analyze risk? Welcome to a fresh perspective on the future of humanity. Today, we are diving into a groundbreaking study from OECD, AI that challenges the monolithic view of technological doom. Instead of accepting the idea that human invention inherently leads to self-destruction, this research proposes a radical shift, evaluating risk and gain on a per-technology basis. You will learn why current literature is biased toward doom-mongering, how a new framework offers a more granular way to assess innovation, and why this matters for every field from medicine to engineering. Stay until the end, because understanding this distinction could change how we regulate the technologies shaping our future, moving us from fear to informed action. For decades, the conversation around existential risk has been dominated by a sweeping, often fatalistic narrative. The prevailing view suggests that as we advance technologically, particularly with the rise of artificial general intelligence, we are walking a tightrope over an abyss of extinction. This perspective treats human ingenuity as a single, monolithic force hurtling toward a catastrophic end. The problem with this approach is that it obscures the nuances of actual risk. By grouping all technological advancements under one umbrella of potential doom, we fail to distinguish between manageable challenges and genuine threats. This holistic doom-mongering creates a systemic bias in our literature, leading researchers and policymakers to consistently conclude that the risk is high, often without scrutinizing the specific cost-benefit trade-offs of individual inventions. Consequently, we find ourselves paralyzed by a vague fear of the future, unable to make precise decisions about the tools we are building. So, what did the researchers actually find? They discovered that this dominant narrative is not supported by a granular analysis of specific technologies. Imagine looking at a forest from a great distance. From there, it might look like a single, dark mass of danger. But if you walk into the woods and examine each tree individually, you realize that some are healthy, some are diseased, and some pose no threat at all. This study argues that we must stop looking at the forest from a distance and start examining the trees. The researchers propose a framework that evaluates risk-gain trade-offs on a per-technology basis. Instead of asking, is AI dangerous for humanity? They suggest asking, what is the specific risk profile of this particular algorithm when applied to this specific dataset? This shift reveals that the systemic bias toward negative conclusions often overlooks the tangible benefits and manageable risks of specific innovations. However, the study also highlights a critical gap. While this new framework is logically sound, it currently lacks the empirical validation, specific case studies, and quantitative metrics needed to prove its efficacy against existing holistic models. It is a promising direction, but one that still requires rigorous testing to move from theory to practice. The implications of this finding are profound for science, policy, and our collective future. By rejecting the blanket assumption that technological advancement equals existential threat, we unlock a more rational approach to innovation. For policymakers, this means moving away from reactive, fear-based regulations that might stifle progress, and toward nuanced governance that targets specific risk factors. For researchers, it provides a structured method to isolate variables, allowing them to identify genuine dangers without succumbing to unnecessary alarmism. In the real world, this shift enables sectors like healthcare and engineering to adopt powerful new tools with confidence, knowing that risks are being managed granularly rather feared broadly. It fosters a discourse that balances vigilance against true dangers with an appreciation for the transformative potential of human ingenuity. Ultimately, this work invites us to replace the narrative of inevitable extinction with a roadmap for sustainable progress. As we wrap up, remember that the future is not a predetermined path toward doom, but a landscape of specific choices waiting to be evaluated. The shift from holistic fear to granular analysis offers a clearer way forward, empowering us to build technology responsibly. If you found this perspective shifting, Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the science shaping our world. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we worry too much about AI or not enough? And stay tuned for our next video, where we will explore the first empirical case studies testing this very framework.